There were announcements everywhere about the lost boy, like Tommy. When I approached the opposite house, I realized that it's not easy to reach the roof. Front door was locked, so need to find back door. I noticed strange hills in Mini Park. I decided not to come closer to them. Come over from one roof to another. This back door was also locked, but I noticed wet leather on the ground near trash can. The door of nearby house was opened. Apparently someone had just driven in new apartment. While I was going upstairs, I was trying to listen to the house. It lived its own life. There were voices behind each door. Someone swore, someone laughed, someone made up with somebody, someone cried, but behind each door I heard family, which I'd never have. I have already started forgetting how it was to have parents. Side view from the roof was really amazing, but unfortunately I couldn't came to the edge of the roof. I had always been afraid of height. There was a gap in front of me. Suddenly, my idea appeared me as terrible mistake, but I couldn't turn back. Now I needed to decide how to reach the other side. scaling to a necessary roof, I understood that someone lived here, and apparently somebody was trying to boggle him despite the fact there was nothing to take. Someone turned everything upside down. The walls were covered with swelling, obviously by local hooligans. I hope that they did nothing bad to pigeons. He was there, lying in his pigeonry stone, dead. And all that I could do was to turn away. And I occasionally dropped my teddy bear. When I came back to Aunt, she was waiting for me in my room, being very angry. I was so happy that she took my story seriously and called the police. After that case, 12 years ago, I received the parcel. When I opened it, I couldn't remain standing. There was my brave Mr. Joy on the bottom of the box. It held a note in his pose, with shirt and succinct, "Thanks."